welcome back to another Project Life episode or process video, whatever you want to call it. Right here I'm basically I picked out the kind of sheet protector I wanted to use, which is from We Are Memory Keepers, and I'm just showing you the cards I will be using, which are from the Take 10 kit for this month of October. They're just gorgeous. I also paired them with some Highline paper cutouts that I had. They're from Basic Gray to kind of match with the kit. But I just think they're so gorgeous, and I really love this month's kit. I think it's perfect for autumn and fall, and I especially love this sweater weather card. Pretty much all the cards in this whole kit are like super cute. The fall favorites card, like, not just because I'm on the design team, but I really love them. So to get started, we're going to be working on the first card, which is kind of going to be my title card in a way. I usually have one card that kind of like represents the month that I'm working on. In this month we're working in October, and as you guys know, I'm a mixed media gal, so I love pulling out my watercolors, and to me it's just a way of basically making my cards stand out. I could have just left the letters white, but I thought it needed an extra something, and I like my cards to kind of look different than what other people's cards are gonna look, so that's why I usually turn to mixed media or adding different embellishments and things to kind of make my cards stand out on their own. Because, you know, if you saw someone else's page where they use the same card as you because they have the kit, you want your card to look different. At least I do. So that's my way of kind of like making it mine and original. And so I had this picture that I decided to back with white cardstock, and then this cute little fun what is it, a paper clip? Yeah. And I got that from the kit as well for this month, and it's super cute. It's like a fun yellow mustardy color. I believe it's from Freckled Fawn, and that's what I love about the kit. You get all these extras you wouldn't normally have in your stash that you get to play with, and it worked perfectly on that card. And I was having fun having like a nice stroll in this awesome fall weather. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. And then this awesome maple leaf that is, well, I call it a maple leaf. I think that's the shape of a maple leaf. It's a wood veneer that also comes in the kit, and I just love that thing. It's so cute, and it really goes perfect to me with this page, and I wanted it to be like kind of a standout on there. And then I decided to use these gold letters that I had from Sticko. I believed I picked these up at Michael's or something, but they're so cute, and you guys know I'm obsessed with gold, so I thought it'd be perfect to make kind of like you know, the title card with the October and all of that. And I'm super duper excited for all the fall layouts I want to make and stuff, so this is just added in there to that. And I decided to use this little spatula that I have for my Cameo just to move around the letters, because I didn't want to accidentally rip them or bend them as I was adjusting them. And then I had these alphas from Studio Calico, which you guys know I love my colorful little alphas. And I decided to kind of make, have them sitting on foam, some of them, and then the other ones laying flat. If you guys have watched my other Project Life process videos, you know that I love to do this. This is something I've never seen anyone do. I just like to make the letters look kind of wonky. I don't like to put them perfectly straight. I like to kind of offset them, so it's kind of like a quirky little feature that I like to add to my pages, just because I think it's really fun and it kind of draws your eye to that card. I decided to use the different color letters, which is another thing I love about the Studio Calico alphas. You have two different tones that go together, so it kind of creates the guesswork out of you trying to mix and match. And I ended up really liking how that looked. I had it even going slightly onto the picture a bit, and it looked awesome. This is one of my favorite cards that I've done recently. And the card itself is just so gorgeous. There's so many things you could do with it. Like, the possibilities are endless. And then I just put walking weather on that. And then I decided to add like a little brad in between the adventure weights because I felt like it needed a little something, a little extra detail. And I can't wait to see what you guys create with these cards because, like I said, it's endless, the possibilities. And if you guys don't have the kit, there will be links in the description box below. I seriously recommend this month's kit. It's super cute, and the add-ons are super cute, which I'll be using as well. Some of them throughout this kit, but they're just awesome, and you can, if you don't use them for this layout, you'll use them for the next layout, I promise, because I'm still using my leftovers from last month's kit in my album and all that. So the next card I'm working on says Loving Life Today, and I had this cute little photo from Instagram, a little contest thing I won, and I also lined this one with white paper just because I felt like it needed to just stand out on that card a little bit more. And like I said, it gives it a clean look. And then I have this alpha set that I have from Kelly Perky, which was from like 2 of her kits ago, and it's just super cute. And then my Studio Calico Color Theory inks, which part of the reason I love them is because of their capabilities for generational stamping, which basically means, you know, when you stamp it once and then you stamp it again without re-inking it, it'll still give you 2 more images that you can actually see, which is what I ended up doing because I didn't have the lighter ink versions. I had the Orange County and the Flamingo Pink, and I wanted to have lighter versions, so I stamped it once on there, and then I stamped it off to the side, and then the second time I stamped it, I actually put it on the paper because I wanted to get like the lighter versions so that they'd play off each other. I hope that's making sense. But yeah, I highly recommend these inks, not because it's Studio Calico or anything like that, but just because I love that you can just ink it once and then afterwards you can get like 2 more stamped images. There's a lot of cool things you can create with that type of effect, like ombre or getting a lighter version without having that ink, because I don't have the lighter versions. And I love creating my own embellishments, as you guys also know, to add like an original kind of factor to my crafts. And also sometimes you don't always have the right thing to put on a card, so it's just a nice thing to just be able to make something of your own, which is part of why I'm obsessed with stamps. It really allows you to make things customizable. I created like a little arrow to put here because I felt like it needed something pointing to the picture, and I just thought it would be cute. And I had created 2 of them to see if I liked the smaller or the larger version, and I ended up going with I believe, yeah, the smaller version. I liked the way it looked better, and I felt like it didn't take away from it. And I end up putting that on some foam adhesive as well, just to kind of make it pop up. And I was really excited when I got that, when I took that picture of the stuff I want from Instagram, so I thought, you know, this would be perfect to say for this card. So now I know I want to add something more to this card, like some sort of puffy sticker or just something to add to it, because right now for me personally it's just a little too plain. But like I said, that comes back to your style and your design aesthetic. For some people this probably would have been just fine, but for me I was like, I need something more. And I also like my cards to kind of tell a story even when I don't do a bunch of writing or journaling. And I had these fun little puffy stickers from Freckled Fawn that I had picked up a while ago, and I really wanted to use one of those little happy faces, but I was going back and forth between those and some Amy Tangerine ones that I had as well. So finally I decided on going with the Freckled Fawn ones, just because I felt like it went with the overall feel that I was looking for. But sometimes it's hard to decide, and that's why I like to leave that sort of process within my videos, so you guys see that like it's all right to kind of go back and forth, but then once you decide on something, kind of like commit to that decision. I liked that one little happy face because he looked really happy to me, and I was like, oh, that would look cute. I had these letters that kind of basically matched the Highline collection from Basic Grey that happened to match this card and the overall, you know, look that I'm going for in my layout. So I decided to use part of those. And another thing I like to do is mix and match alphas, as you guys know. So I decided to do only part of it, like do the Insta, and then used some Snap alpha letters that I had to kind of mix and match it to go with it. And I really liked the way that looked, and to me it kind of pulled together the pinks and blues, and I didn't want to add a ton of blue to this card or a ton of pink. I wanted to kind of have it all balanced out because the picture already has some blue, but so I did want to pull out some blue but not too much. So I have it there, and I also put those on some foam dimensionals as well to make them kind of wonky and stand out, because I just thought that would look really cute. So now I'm done with this card, and this card, for like, as you guys know me, it's actually fairly simple, but I really like it because, like I said, sometimes I counterbalance cards by making one a little bit more out there and then doing another one a little bit more simple. For this one I'm using the Fall Favorites from this kit, which I absolutely loved this card, and I was like, I'm totally using this. I'm laying that on top of this card that I had from the Basic Grey Highline collection. I found that this collection matched really well with this month's kit, at least to me, so I wanted to use it. And then I had this picture that I took, a selfie recently, and I wanted to add that as well. And I didn't line that with any white because I didn't feel like it needed it. So that's why you can kind of like decide and mix and match between that. And then I wanted to do a little bit of stamping, so I did go ahead and stamp these little mini hearts that I had from, actually, I think it was the planner stamp that I had from my Filofax. It might have been like my L2E stamp. It had like tiny little itty bitty heart. And just put hearts in like my favorite ones from the card, even though I really liked all of them. And then I had these labels from Studio Calico that I have had. It's like a little booklet, and I figured I would just add that in there because they had like a blue label and I thought it would go perfect. And I also wanted to kind of play with adding some journaling to that card because I felt like it kind of needed it. And then I also wanted to add that wood veneer, and I actually just used some watercolor on white paper to add a backing to that arrow. That's why you see kind of oranges and pinks popping out from there. I thought it would go really cute and it would match with the card, and I just added that with some like Tombow Monomulti and then just glued it down there, pointing towards my favorites basically. And then I ended up also adding a brad to that card, a little heart brad, the same one I used on my first card that I worked on, because I felt like it would look cute, and apparently I'm using hearts in this layout, so why not just add a few more. And then I just decided to do a little bit of journaling, and I'm using a Sharpie pen that I got at Target, and it was on sale for like 75 cents, and it's one of those really fine point ones, so it's kind of perfect for this because it's going to dry quickly. And then my next card that I'm working on is my sweater weather card. I seriously love, love, love that card from this month's kit. It's so cute, and the wood grain background is also super cute from this month's kit. It was like, I was determined to use both of those. I'm just using my watercolors once again to just add pink to the background that I'm going to add to that card. I wanted to just line the back of that card because I felt it would make it pop against the wood grain, and also it would add pink to that card because since I do have pink throughout my layout, I felt like it would go well on like with this card, and it would just add another element to kind of bring it all together. And I think it really did. And I also just wanted to, you know, make that card a little bit of a focal point because, like I said, I love it. I love those sweaters on it. They remind me of, like, I don't know, 80s sweaters that people would have or whatever. And they're just super cute. So then I decided I wanted something else. So I had some heart vellum paper. You guys know I love my vellum. And I just decided that it would look really cute in the background, and it would also bring elements of gold to my layout because I do have little touches of gold throughout my whole layout. And it ended up looking really cute, and I was trying to decide on the placement of that and how I wanted it, if I wanted it a little lower, a little, you know, it's all a process, you guys, so, you know, just decide on something, commit to it like I always say, because that's at least the hardest part for me. And then I had this little arrow printable that's a two-sided arrow, and I thought that would look super cute, and I actually had that from one of the Studio Calico agenda class where you got printables, and that was one of the printables, and I just thought it would be super cute for this card. And then I used my tiny attacher to just add that arrow, and that is a gold staple, just so you guys know, so it's all coordinating here, and I just thought that it would look nice on there. And then I added some more of my wonky letters with my Studio Calico alphas just to bring in some yellow to that card because I felt like it needed a pop, so I just put the weather part on a pop since kind of this card is focused on fall weather in general. And then this Trick or Treat card, which is super cute and girly, is also from this month's kit, and I love it because you could totally use it on a Halloween layout as well as a fall layout. And then I had this wood grain or wood board, I don't even know, from Studio Calico that I wanted to use, but I didn't want to waste all of it on just this one layout, so I could use it on the layout that I'm going to do next time. So I just cut a line basically, like I made a line with a pencil and then I cut it because you're not going to be able to notice and it's going to create the same effect. So it's a way to kind of, you know, save some cardstock, which I don't always do this, but every once in a while when I really love a card, I really try and do this so that I can kind of, you know, get more use out of it. And I'm just putting some washi basically to hold it together, and now it basically is the perfect size 4x6. And I also ended up adding some cardstock in the back of that because it needed it, because it was coming off a little bit flimsy, so it needed something to kind of make it sturdy. And that was like my Staples 110-pound cardstock. It was just a little strip of it. And now I'm just lining this photo as well with some white because I felt like it just needed it. And that was just a photo that I took of some goodies that I had gotten, which I was really happy about, so I wanted to just document my excitement. and I thought that card was perfect because it says trick or treat, and that was definitely a treat, y'all. And then I'm bringing out my We Are Memory Keepers sewing template because I thought that it just needed a touch of something, sewing wise or something, and I thought like a nice little arrow detail would be really good, and I decided to use my gold thread to do that. And whenever I do my sewing like this, you guys, I always add Scotch tape to the back of it to keep it, you know, nice and tight on there so nothing comes loose. And then I'm also using some of my handmade enamel dots just to emphasize the treat, because this was definitely a treat for me. And I thought that it just kind of like brought the card together, and I felt like it needed it, so it ended up going perfect. And those are my homemade enamel dots, so if you guys haven't seen my DIY video on that, you should definitely check it out. I'll try to link that in the description if I remember. And then this card that I'm working on, I had a little piece of ephemera that says favorites on it, and I believe it's also from the Basic Grey Highline collection, and I added it to the card that's also, I believe, from the collection. And this wood veneer that says autumn is from this month's Take 10 October kit, and it is absolutely beautiful and gorgeous, and I thought it would go perfect above that because now it says autumn favorites. And I'm just adding little droplets of Tombow Mono Multi just to get it adhered onto there, but not so much that it's gonna be messy and go all over the place, so keep that in mind. All it needs is like a few little drops here and there, and it's basically attached and good to go. And I really love this card as well, you guys, from this kit because it's kind of different. You know, I don't know, that you'll see at the end. I had this coffee cup from the stamp set. This is a stamp set from this month from Take 10 that I stamped in the sneak peek if you guys watched that. And I had already stamped inside of it, so it's ready to go basically. And then I had this piece of ephemera left over that I cut from my cameo. It was a leftover that I thought would work perfect. They're like basically 3 wonky circles attached to one another. And I had the idea that it would go great on a craft tag that that was crimped basically, and then I added the champagne glitter heart to it to kind of fill in the little baubles. And I love adding text to the middle of this cup. You guys saw me do it in my sneak peek, and it's like my new addiction for this coffee cup. Especially because I love teas and coffees and things, so it's a great way, and you can do it with whatever stamp set you have. You can kind of add to it. And then this is the add-on stamp from this month, which is super cute and great to add in a planner or whatever else you guys have in mind. It's really tiny and adorable. Like, that's all I have to say about this. I decided to add the cold saying that it had on it to it because basically, you know, usually for me, if I'm gonna drink something that's a hot drink, it's because it's cold outside and I want something to warm me up. So I decided to add that to the last little bauble there, and I thought it looked super cute. It's just adorable, and I love that little mini thermometer. I'm totally gonna stamp that in my agenda, which I will be showing you guys my agenda very soon. And then I was going back and forth, but I decided I wanted to add some vellum, and that can only mean one thing, you guys. I need to bring out my typewriter. You guys know how much I love vellum and using my typewriter, so I felt like for this card I was going to definitely add some journaling about, you know, how I love fall and all of that, and I thought what better way to do that than to pull out my typewriter. I could have done it by hand, but when doing vellum, sometimes I just feel like it looks really cute to just add some text like that. And you can also do this with a printer if you guys don't happen to have a typewriter. But I just love the feel of the typewriter, and I love all things vintage, so to me it's just fun to pull it out. I feel like, oh, this is what people felt like back in the day or something, I don't know. And I pull out my eraser because I got a little splotchy of ink, and believe it or not, the eraser will actually take that off. That's like a trick I recently learned. And it's worked for me, so hopefully it'll work for you guys if you're ever in the position where you get ink on something. Literally, if you have a nice big eraser, it will take it off. So now that I have that ready, I'm going to add some Tombow to the sides to glue it on. This does dry clear, so you can kind of somewhat see it at the beginning, but it's less noticeable once it fully dries. And I should have probably let this paper dry before I kept touching it and touching it, because your typewriter ink needs a few moments to actually dry, but since I was in the middle of a video and recording, I really didn't think about it, so I kind of smudged it. And at first I was totally alright with leaving it like that anyway, because I felt like it kind of added to like a cool factor to it, but I'm gonna end up fixing it by using an eraser, so just so you guys know, I did that off camera. And now I'm adding some sequins. I had sequins from last month's kit, as well as some Studio Calico Gold sequins and some different little orange sequins that I had, and I added them in there because I basically decided it would be super cute to just make like a fall little sequence pocket on that card, and it ended up working great. And then I decided to use this sentiment from the add-on stamp, which is feels like, and I thought that would be super cute because since we're talking about fall and I already put cold in that other one, I felt like it would just look really cute, like adding to the story of that one card. So I ended up stamping that in some VersaFine, and now I decided to seal my pocket with the washi from this month's kit as well, which is a nice like orangey green with whites and yellows. It's super cute. It's in this month's kit, and you get enough to really add it to like 2 or 3 layouts really, because you don't need a ton of washi. And I thought it'd be great to seal that pocket. You could also seal that pocket sewing and stuff like that, but I thought it was like a really good excuse to use my washi because I thought it would look cute and kind of go with the overall colors of my layout and the theme. And then I ended up adding some washi on the side of that that's striped gold and white washi that's super thin, and it's from Lily Bee, which I had in my stash. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. If you do, please like, share, thumbs up, comment. I love to hear from you guys. It's part of the reason I do this, and I hope you guys pick up this month's kit, which will be linked in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!